Good. Next, cause and effect. So every effect has a cause, and where you place yourself on this continuum will determine how much power you actually have in your life. Now, motivational speakers use the word power all the time. I want to be clear. Power is a scientific measurement of the amount of energy required to produce work. So it's not a positive thing. I'm not bestowing it on you. It's just a thing. I mean, did anybody here eat food today? Okay, well, you did that because you wanted to convert that energy into processes in your body and out of your body. Got it? Good. So, cause and effect is best explained with the use of Johnny. Johnny, did you get your homework done? No. The dog ate it. That's a good reason, right? It's a really good reason. The homework came, I mean, it's not his fault. The dog ate the homework. You know what dogs are like, right? Did you get your homework done? No. How much power does Johnny have to get his homework out of the dog? 0. It's disgusting. Stop thinking about it. Now, if he moves to the cause side of the equation, Johnny, did you get your homework done? No. I'm not doing it. By the way, that's a cause-related answer. It comes with consequences, but he's clearly willing to accept the consequences of detention or not graduating or whatever. Saying no or I'm not doing it is retaining the power to choose your outcome. Might not be the best choice, but it is your choice. Johnny, did you get your homework done? No. I'm going to do it for Monday. See, I don't care why you didn't get your homework done. I don't care what the reasons are. The truth is, it's either done or it's not. In this particular case, it's not. So when will it be done? Monday. That's called remaking an agreement. How many of you have ever had to remake an agreement? Okay. Now, as long as you're doing that out of integrity, it's a totally legit thing. If you use it as a reason to be at effect, that's bullshit. Okay. Johnny, did you get your homework done? No. I don't know how to do it. Can you help me? When was the last time you did that when you were standing in front of a chair? Now you all have a coach, so at least you're doing that. But seriously, when was the last time? I want to tell you a secret. This is like a little, I feel like Mr. Rogers, a little secret. If anybody on earth has ever gotten what you want, they know how to do it. So just copy them. Which means you have to ask for help. Please show me, tell me the model of how you did it. Now, modeling, I said, isn't just eating what they eat. It's believing what they believe, don't believe what they don't believe, acting how they act, not acting how they don't act, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But believe me when I tell you that you can actually embody someone else. That's a thing. We're not doing that here. That's too out there. But it's a thing. Okay? So, saying, I don't know how to do it, please show me how to do it, and then doing it, that's a thing. That's being a cause. You have choice. That's where results come from. Now, not getting a result is also a result. Okay? Anytime you give reasons instead of results, all you're doing is reinforcing not having it. So moving to the cause side of the equation doesn't mean moving to the blame side of the equation. That's not what I'm talking about. It means recognizing that every choice you've ever made in your entire life has put you in the chair you are sitting in right now. Like, how many of you wanted to leave 5 minutes earlier? How many of you wanted to leave 5 minutes later? How many of you wanted to get a coffee on the way here? How many? There's a million choices you did or didn't make. Right? So you're sitting in the chair because she got here before you, and you wanted to sit here, and clearly you think I'm going to dump water on you. Okay, just FYI, these are the best seats in the house. And not because they're in the front row, but because there's no barrier between me and these two women. See, between you and me, we got a little chair. It's not a big chair, but there is a chair. So I got to go up and over that. And I got to go up and over them to get to you. And I got to go up and over them to get to you. It can be done. That's what I spend my life learning about. But in terms of learning, if you learning junkies in the room, always, always, always sit at the front of the room. And if a speaker is coming to town and they charge quadruple for the front row seats, pay it. I'm going to tell that story. I had no money back in the day. Roxanne told me to write the book. I mean, I had money, but I didn't, whatever. I was still stuck in the paradigm that this wasn't a thing. And so I was like, well, this isn't a thing. But I'm going to write this book because I wrote it in 10 days and it was published, blah, 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 and then I got this coincidental email from Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote the testimonial for my first book. And he was like, Gina, I'm doing this thing. It's this new concept I'm coming up with. It's like a multi-speaker thing where I'm going to teach everything I know about marketing a book. I was like, damn, that's what I need. So I was like, Andrew, I want to go. And my kids were little. For those of you who say I can't do that because I have kids, they were little. But I was like, they'll be okay. I have a reliable partner. And even if I didn't, I would have found somebody else. They'll be okay. They'll always be okay. Put your own oxygen mask on first before assisting others. Now, so I buy a ticket. That's expensive. I got to fly. Of course, at the time I'm living in Toronto and it's in LA. Now that I live on the West Coast, all my work is in Europe and the East Coast. It's ridiculous. So I had to fly from Toronto to LA. That's a long flight. I had to stay in a hotel. I had to pay for the conference. And if you paid like a quadruple more, you could get some VIP ticket. Front row, lunch with the speakers, blah, blah, blah. Ridiculous. It was like $1,500 on top of everything else. And I turned to my husband, remember, I'm like not really working because I've just produced 2 humans. And, his business, our business, when we started together, he's like still trying to get it off the ground. We're sharing an office that's as big as these 3 chairs. And I say, I want to spend $1,500 just to sit in the room with other people. And he's like, fine, go ahead. It's important. You got to do this. You're not going to do this half-assed. We're not going to do half a book. We're not going to get half a mini. So I go down to the conference. Now, I met this woman. I saw Mark, and it was great because I hadn't seen Mark in a long time. He wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, or they wrote whatever. I don't even know how I know him. That's not part of the story. It doesn't matter. I already had the testimonial, so I have no idea how I actually knew him. It was obviously something before that. Doesn't matter. I said to Andrew, I'm going down there, and I am getting my life changed. I am going to meet people who every person I interact with, I'm going to figure out what their role is. First person I met was like a woman twice as broke, didn't have a book. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, awesome. But she had an incredible story. Like, incredible. So I said, I want to introduce you to Mark. She's like, I like Mark Victor Hansen. I just want to take you over to his little suite thing. I want to introduce you to him because I know he'd be into this story. So I brought her over to him, and I said, blah, blah, blah. She's a really young woman. And this program, Awaken the Power, it's been around this long because I've had this is the very first program I ever created. Now it's gone through some changes, but like you guys need to understand, when I left P&G, I started a company called Goddess Concepts, and this was the program. And so I said to her, I'm doing this program on a different scale, and I want you to come as my guest, because her story was so amazing. And she was like, thank you so much. And so then I introduced her to Mark, and we were telling the story, and he's like, why are you doing this for her? And I'm like, because she sat in the chair at lunch, and so I'm working with what, like I said, who sits in the chair, right? Okay. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. Anyways, they just so you know, their interaction, whatever. So, next lunch. Okay, Gina, right? Let's see what, come on. You're gonna, it was great that you helped her, but come on, you get yourself somebody good, right? So I sit down at lunch, and I pick a chair, and I sit in the chair, get my lunch, and the tables are all filling up, right? And there's a chair beside me, and I'm like, oh, yes, it's going to be so great. Okay, everybody's sitting down. They start talking at lunch. There's no one sitting in the chair. The whole room is full. The chair beside me, the magic chair, it's fucking empty. I am like, are you kidding me? Okay, you know what? Just pay attention to this. Eat your salad, right? Go up and get your second course. I'm in line for the second course. I meet a woman who had also worked at P&G, who ended up becoming a very close friend and a very influential friend in the lineup for the food. I was like, well, that's obvious. I mean, that's good, but that's not it, because she's not. So I went, sat down. I said, do you want to come sit at my table, right? And she's like, no. So I sit down again. And I'm like, okay, you know what? enough with the trying to make it happen. Just eat your whatever. Doors burst open, flurry of energy comes into the room. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. Papers flying. Guy sits down beside me. And I look at him, because it's the only chair in the room. And it's Bob Proctor. And he goes, have I missed much? I go, well, just the salad. And he's like, oh, well, that's fine. And he said, I'm sorry I'm late. I don't mean to be rude. I know this is really important. I should have gotten here earlier. I'm Bob. And I said, I know. I'm Gina, and the fact that you're sitting in that chair means you're going to change my life.